like somebody got said, might as well be me. You know, I always hear, and I heard this topic come up, and that's the reason why I'm speaking on it. Let's rap about it, right? I always hear motherfuckers give the credit of street gangs, particularly black and brown street gangs, starting in California. And I would have to disagree on multiple reasons. You know what I'm saying? I think they give California the glory for that, for propaganda and bullshit reasons, because they were the most unorganized. Yeah, they were organized, but they were the most unorganized. And here's why I say so. If you look back at it, there were street gangs damn near everywhere in all the major cities. You know what I'm saying? And there was, it was a lot of racial tension. That's what a lot of the street gangs was based off of. If you want to really organize, if you want to talk about who organized first, Black Panthers. You know what I'm saying? First ones to organize. Hands down. First ones. If you want to talk about the first chapter that organized, yes, that comes out of California. Now, what came behind that, or what came simultaneously with that, was other chapters, but you still had places like Chicago that was very organized. You know what I'm saying? Vice Lords was very organized. You know what I'm saying? L. Rookins was very organized. You know what I'm saying? And then at one point in time, the Black Stones was very organized. Folks was very organized. So, I know you had gangs in New York. You know what I'm saying? First of all, the conversation shouldn't be where this shit started at, because we know why it all started. You know what I'm saying? The conversation should be who was the most organized and who had the numbers. Because that's where the threat lies. You feel me? And who was the most organized, who had the best structure? I'm gonna have to give it to Chicago. Hands down. Why you think they don't talk about us? They just start talking about us when all our shit start falling apart. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear about our political prisoners. The only one you do hear about is Larry Hoover. You know, and if you dig deep into his story, you will see that we was organized. We was organized. Yeah. You will see that. You know, and they don't like that. They don't like when we organize and unify. You know, when we protect our own, when we police our own. They don't like that. That's not for the status quo. You know, and that's what the conversation needs to shift to. Where it went wrong, where the structure was lost, bring back the structure. You know what I'm saying? Because the numbers are still there. You know, even though our boys are still dying at a rapid rate, but the numbers are still there. So that's what we need to be focused on. You feel me? You know, like Juan said, I heard that was a big homie CC. Like he said, this shit is more religion now. It is. I know for me it is. It is more religion now. You know, this is how we were raised and born. You know, I say raised and born and raised. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, let's shift that conversation. Fuck who started it. You know what I'm saying? Let's see who organized. Let's see where that structure at. That way we can get back on that road. Yeah.